Evil Genius 2 is the sequel to the critically acclaimed and much loved Evil Genius. With nearly 2 decades separating the two, Evil Genius 2 must deliver on the fundamentals that made Evil Genius such a classic, whilst also scaling the depth of content and modernising both the graphics and the performance to adhere to modern standards. Thankfully, after more than, 50 hours of gameplay, I can confirm that Evil Genius 2 not only continues from where Evil Genius left off, but it expands upon it, it improves upon it, and with a collection of voice actors who wouldn't be out of place in any Hollywood blockbuster, Evil Genius 2 delivers as heavily on quality as it does on comical entertainment.
A small fire has started in your rear. A minion has caught fire.
Hello and welcome, I'm SimUK, and it is my goal to provide to you the most honest, fact-based critical reviews on YouTube. If you find this review helpful, then please hit that like button, subscribe, and help to support the channel by donating via the links below. Thank you so much, and enjoy the review. The genius behind the Evil Genius series is the switch on the norm. Instead of being the good guy taking on and beating the bad guys, in Evil Genius, as the name suggests, you are the bad guy and you are tasked with constructing a secret base, training your minions and defending your hidden HQ from the forces of justice in order to achieve global domination. The basic game will cost you $34.99 with a deluxe version set at $54.99 on Steam. There's no confirmation on what will be in the deluxe version as yet, but I would expect to see more islands to explore, more bad guys to play as, and on Steam there was a 15% pre-order discount, which obviously ends as soon as the game goes live. Unfortunately, because of the embargo, I wasn't permitted to make this review any earlier. Like all the very best Evil Geniuses, your lair is on a secluded island, hidden away from view and further obfuscated by the introduction of a casino resort front. Your base starts as a bare bones shell and you have a handful of minions at your disposal. You build everything from A to B, and the building mechanics are absolutely excellent, super easy and efficient to use. You must manage your power usage, you must focus time and energy on scientific research, and train your minions to ensure that they are capable of following your every command. Each minion also has unique traits, and ensuring that their needs are met is as essential as having enough power to run all of the contraptions and traps that you have built. Yes, of course, traps are the absolute centerpiece of the Evil Genius series. As soon as you open your casino, tourists will visit your establishment. They will gamble away their money and help you to fund your criminal enterprise. But this alone is not enough to cover the expenses of global domination. So, you must also branch out and run several evil schemes across the globe. But the forces of justice are watching your every move, and they will send endless numbers of agents of varying skills and capabilities to investigate your premises. They're looking for evidence of evil doing, and if they find it, they will try and report that back to their base, which will increase your heat. You can of course distract the vast majority of the early agents, even trick the level 2 and 3 agents with a trap or two, but as the agents get progressively more sophisticated, your basic trap designs will be disabled and quickly become ineffective. So you must continue to build smarter and bigger, or ensure that they don't make it out alive. Here's a cute little doggy with wobbly eyes and a flashy tail. Oh, hang on. Exploding dog. Okay, so that did a little bit of damage. The Venus flytrap has eaten her. There's a sandbox mode alongside the campaign, and that allows you to just progress nicely through the entire mission system with everything unlocked and full capability enabled. But when you do play sandbox mode, you won't get access to the additional agents, like Agent X, for example. These guys can attack you at any time, but you can also invite them to your lair if you feel confident that your setup and your system is capable of withstanding their investigative skills. They will try and rob you, they will try and blow everything up, they will try and get you into trouble. Agent X, for example, will plant evidence all over the place, and you will have to go and dismantle them. There are lots of enhancements and improvements to Evil Genius 2. They have done away with the need to up sticks and move your base. Instead, they have introduced levels into your base, which will help you to branch out and organise appropriately. Gone are the ever-expanding freezers and replaced with the far more considerate incinerators. There's also full controller support from the beginning, and although I felt this worked perfectly in the early access, they have actually taken feedback from the community and improved that, so you can expect really good controller support from day one. Evil Genius 2 is absolutely packed with content, and whilst every single scenario is relatively linear in its design, there is so much opportunity to create and escalate and be creative with each playthrough. You've also got the 4 individual main evil geniuses, and that will branch out slightly, giving you a few different options and capabilities. For example, all of Red Ivan's minions will indeed be stronger from the beginning, so when they upgrade, they will be more capable of attacking and taking out enemy agents. I have absolutely, thoroughly, 100% enjoyed playing Evil Genius 2. But I do feel that there are some areas where there could be some improvements made. I find that the world stage is often a little ambiguous. It needs to be clearer what is going on and where. Sometimes jobs will be hidden behind other icons, and it's difficult to tell what is active and what is not active. I think with color coding, maybe alerts that take you directly to the faction that needs to be dealt with would make the whole world stage thing a little bit less frustrating to use. I'd also wanted to really see some further enhancement on the traps themselves. So I'm talking here about traps with adjustment. How far will it activate? For how long will it activate? And even how long after it's been activated will it take before it actually does something? So let's say, for example, you've set the active range to 3 squares, and when somebody steps within those 3 squares, you won't do anything for 3 or 5 seconds. That just gives you the ability to really mix things up, and I think it would add an awful lot to the game. I also feel that there could be a little bit more feedback when certain items can't be placed in certain locations. Often it's just a point-blank negative cannot be done, but it doesn't necessarily explain why. Given time, you can either guess at what the reason is, but I just feel that for a single line of code, you could just have a bit of information there explaining exactly what the infringement is. I also feel like the UI could be slightly streamlined. Now, don't misunderstand me, I think it's one of the best UIs I've ever used, but in some occasions there are too many clicks to do a simple task. Now, that being said, there are hotkeys, so you can alternatively utilize those, but I find that the right mouse button just isn't used enough in this UI. I've also noticed that when an agent is, for example, disabling a trap and another trap goes off which should theoretically catch them in the act, it actually has no effect against them. Now, maybe that's by design, maybe that's a bug, maybe that's by accident, but I would much rather see an enemy agent disabling one of my traps, and then another agent sets off a different trap, and that trap catches both of them, and that disabling of the first trap then becomes null and void because he's been caught by the second trap. That, I think, would be a lot nicer. I also think the option to upgrade or simply swap objects would be a good idea as well. Sometimes you have an item like the Just the ability to upgrade or swap out a door without having to actually delete it and replace it, I think would be a good idea. I'd also like to see the ability to drag and select for multiple deletion or multiple creation. For example, you've built a massive room that you want to fill with power generators. You should really be able to grab one power generator, click where you want it to start, and drag down and build that many in one single hit. Another thing that does frustrate me a little bit is the game save files. The ability to rename them is not currently there. It has been raised multiple times, so it might be something that appears fairly soon. I'd also like to see more than 10 game save file slots. Currently 10 relates to the cloud save option. I'm not sure if there's more offline, but certainly I think 10 is too few. Another thing that a few people have mentioned, and I kind of agree with, is that when you're placing items, the mouse position feels like you're holding it from above and the item is dangling below the mouse. It just kind of feels wrong. I would much rather have my mouse dictate where I place the item. I also think it would be great later on in the game you can put security measures in for separate rooms, etc. I think it would be great if you could lock off rooms. For example, I have a research department that has beds in it, it has food supplies in it, it has everything that a minion needs to keep themselves in a good working state. But what I find is that the other minions who work further away and are not scientists often come in and they eat at that location and they sleep in that location. I would like to be able to lock that door so that only scientific minions can get in there, or a certain select number of minions could get in there. I also think the ability to build traps closer behind fake doors. So for example, you lead somebody down to a corridor where there is nowhere else to go, but you place a door at the very end and then a trap behind it. What happens at the moment is that when they open the doors, if you put a fan there, for example, the fan will blow them back, but then the doors will close immediately and that fan is then null and void. What would be great is if the doors could open and whatever trap you've put there could possibly fire. So, for example, the freeze rays. This would be a great way of catching the agents out because they simply wouldn't know it was there, and there's no way that they could disable it before opening the door. They've both been caught by the disco. Now, you see this is increasing their skill and their resolve, but sucking the vitality out of them, so they're both going to die. Evil Genius 2 is a must-have for the fans of the franchise, and if you've never even heard of Evil Genius before, it's definitely a worthwhile consideration. All in all, Evil Genius 2 is absolutely fantastic fun. It's really vibrant, it's really colourful, it's really well designed, it's pretty much bug-free, and to be honest with you, it's one of the best UIs I've ever used. It's so simple to build and construct and change and alter and upgrade and modify. It's absolutely fantastic. The number of traps, etc. that we have are wonderful. There's not really enough there to sort of go overboard with the amount of stuff there, but honestly, the content that's there and the research tree that exists is going to keep you busy for hours and hours and hours. And with 4 main characters in the main game and 3 different locations for you to build on, you have got well over 100 hours of gameplay options there. Considerably more if you get really involved in the game. It's an absolute blast. It's made me laugh out loud on numerous occasions. It's just brilliant. It really is a great game. So much fun, so entertaining, and what more can I say? There's more content to come. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope if you're looking to buy the game today, please let me know in the comment section what you think of this game. I think it's superb. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm right. I think this game is an absolute winner, and I think everyone who plays it is going to enjoy it on some level or other. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Until next time. Goodbye.